Okay, good afternoon. It's the 26th of December. This is my Christmas bow. I have the fade outs marked. I have, from the bottom of the string groove, I have marked 1 inch, and that's where I'm going to put the yardstick. I have a center mark between those 2 points. Show you my buffalo horn tips that I had glued on. I cut the grooves in on a 45 with a chainsaw file, rounded the edges. I made it so that it's level and the string is buried in the sides, it don't stick out, okay? And now we're gonna tiller it. I'm gonna show you how I tiller it. And this, once again, this is just gonna be a quick sped up version because you could watch my video on tillering that I did with chasing the growth ring, hickory growth ring. And that'll get you through it. We're going to start with the back set and a long string, and we're going to get the limbs just a little more than level, and then we're going to use the yardstick and see what we got to take off. I can feel pulling this down. I'm guaranteed to get the weight I want out of this one. Okay, from the fade out to here, and I stand back, and I'm looking, I can see that there's a sag at the point here. The wood sags, and it's got to be taken off here. From the center point, we want a mirror image of the back. So this is it, right here. You start somewhere, you start with the low spots. And this side has a good bend. We're not doing nothing with this side yet. I went back about 4 or 5 times, probably 5 times. Taking off a little bit on the spots that weren't bending as much. And look what we got. From the center, we got a mirror image going on here. And that's what we're looking for. And I had to remove a little bit over here on this side too. Over here was a little low. And look what we got. We got a mirror image going on here too. Okay, this needs a little bit more bend overall, I think. So I'm going to take it down 1 more notch and check it out. Okay, I'm going to check the pounds soon because pounds feel a little heavy. There's no stress on these limbs. You know, look, this is where it is. Let's check it out again. Took it down another inch. And if you look, it looks perfect, right? Okay. Look over here. It looks perfect. But I'm not going to pull down another inch until I see how many pounds it is. And where the notch is 19. Okay, see the arrows pointing, it says 19. And the only thing that means, it means nothing at this point when there's no string on it, that 19. It's just giving us a specific number to pull down to. That's all. A reference point. So when I put the scale on, I know if I go down to where it's 19.5, it'll tell me how many pounds we're pulling. And that's going to be the next thing. We're going to see how many pounds we got there. I can tell it's really heavy, and unlike the chasing hickory ring bow that had a moisture crack in it, and I had to remove a lot of material, didn't get the weight I wanted. This is going to have plenty of weight. Okay, we're going to go down to that 19.5 mark and see what we got. Okay, we got 41 pounds, and we want 37 overall. So there's really not that much stress on the limbs. I know they say don't pull it down beyond the weight you want. It's a loose string. You have to get it moving a little bit. You got to start somewhere. So I'm going to remove some weight off of both sides of these limbs. I'm going to remove like 20 strokes or more off of the belt sander to start. At this 19.5 mark, I now have 34 pounds. Going back and forth. Now what we're going to do is we're using the yardstick from the fade out for that 1 inch over here. 1 inch from the bottom of the string groove. And we have a nice, fairly, what looks like a mirror image going on here. And what we're going to do just to see is, what we have is 5/8. We have 5/8 from the center down. Let's see what we got over here. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, looks pretty good. We have 3/4. So this is bending a little more than that. So we got to take off some more material over there. And I just want to, I don't want to make this long and drawn out because you see enough of my videos on how I tiller. But now once we start bending it, getting that mirror image, we're going to use that. We're going to measure from the center line down to see if one's bending more than the other, because we're taking off. I'm taking off like 20 strokes at a time on a belt sander, and that does change things up, even with a belt that's not that aggressive. So I'm going to take off more on that limb because that one's bending a little bit more, and then that's the whole idea of this process, back and forth. Okay, I've been going back and forth. I probably took off 60 strokes. And every time, like 10 strokes at a time, and I check it, and I'd see if there's any spots that weren't bending perfect. And from the center line, we now have 1.25 inches. And from the center line over here, we have 1.25 inches. So we're at, like I said, these marks are just a general guide. We're at 23.5, and we're almost at the point where we can put a string on it, but not quite. Okay. We could probably put a 5-inch string on that. So I'll have to decide what I'm going to do, but let's see first. When we pull this scale down to this 23.5, what the weight is, and that'll determine our next step. Okay, we're going to see what the weight is at that 23.5. Okay, we got 37.5. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce some more weight. We're almost at the point where we could put a string on there. And it looks like probably like a 5-inch brace height. So I'm going to remove some more material, more weight, and then I'll look for a string. Okay, when I put on a string with a low brace height, I noticed this limb had a twist to it. An unacceptable twist. So I got it set up. I have clamps for leverage. See the arrow I put here? That's the direction it has to go. I'm just going to heat it up and see if I can take that little bit of twist out of it. Going to let this cool, and then we're going to use that string with the short brace height and put it on, see how we did, see if we took that twist out. Well, it took a lot of work, back and forth, straightened out the limb, digging through my strings, found a string I was able to shorten up enough, 6.25 inch brace height. We're going to check the bend here. Everything matches up, so it looks good. It looks really good. All the measurements match up, but the bend is perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go just see how much weight we got here. Okay, we're down to 19 and a half. Just want to check out the bend. Perfect bend, 19 and a half. Look at that, perfect bend, 19 and a half. Let's see what kind of weight we're going to get down to. It's going to be light at 19 and a half. £7 at 19 and a half. $37 at 24 and a half. 37 at 24 and a half. Okay, it's looking good. Looking good. We're almost there. Okay, let's check out the profile. Let's check out the profile. Gonna go back and review the picture. Looking and feeling good. It's looking and feeling good. I'm gonna review this and see what it looks like. Gonna shape it up. Gonna cut a grip, a rest, and I'll get back to you. Okay, a lot of hard work today again. And check it out. I shaped the handle, the riser. It's looking good, right? And we're gonna take some shots now with my 3D targets. And though this camera really lights everything up, it's getting dark. You know, it's the evening now, it's getting sunset. And we're gonna take some shots with this here. Now it was 37 on the money. And I sanded it, I smoothed it, I checked it, I sanded a little bit more. And it's 35, but that's okay. I gotta see how it shoots. I'm gonna aim at that bear. And usually like around the lower third with the tip. Not bad, it's really fast. Wow, I'm impressed. That's pretty fast. Whenever I shoot these bows, the first couple of times, I'm not rock steady. I'm not that shooting machine because I'm afraid it's going to smack me in the head, but I got to overcome that. So now that deer with the bag is 20 yards. Because it's pretty fast, I'm going to try point on. Okay, we'll have to go down and check it out because I can't see. My eyesight's not that good. And then that, we're normally at 25 yards. See that deer down there to the right? That's 25 yards. I kind of put the point on the back. So let's see what happens when I do that. This is fast. This is 35 pounds. And it's as fast as some of my 37-pound bows I made with the limb design. See the narrow tips? Gets a little wide and narrow. Right? Let's go check it out because I can't see. Okay, he was aiming for the lower third, went over here. Could be a grip thing. Could be just a bow. Okay, I was aiming here. The height's good. Point on, except it went to the left. So I don't know if I plucked or what, but I'm happy with it. First time I'm shooting this thing, it's like lightning. I'm really happy with it. Here's 25 yards. All right, look at this. I put the point here, and that's where it went. And this is 35 pounds. And I'm shooting 700 spine and trotters with a 75 grain head. I'm really happy with this setup. So this is my Christmas bow. Thanks for watching. If you want to see specifics on shaping the riser, I actually have videos on that. The tips, I believe I have a video on just making tips. And Tillering, you can watch all my videos. It's like watching paint dry, but if you never did it before and use the yardstick, an inch at a time, you're looking for that mirror image, okay? And I thank Keith Shannon, as always, for him reaching out to me way back when and talking to me about tillering and fire hardening. And I suggest that you go out and buy his fire hardening video, at Shannon Outdoors, because you're able to go out and get whitewood and cook it on coals. And you could take a raw tree and be shooting it. This here hickory was a live tree a month and a half ago, and it had winter bark. And the other thing I found out with the winter bark was this one here I scraped. This is one of 3 staves that I had to go down to a growth ring. And then the rest of them, what I did was I put it in a steam tube, and I let it steam to soften up. It softened up a little less than an hour, 45 minutes, and I was able to peel, use the draw knife and scrape off the winter bark. Well, I was busy, and it stayed in the steam tube for an hour and a half, an hour and 15 minutes. And I found out that extra at hour and 15 minutes, that back peeled up like spring, like it was in the spring. It peeled, the back peeled right off the log, all right? And we had a pristine back. So you can watch that too. All right, watch on my other videos. Watch all my other videos on Barebow Joe. Every day you wake up is a good day. Okay, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. And this is my Christmas bow. I'm freezing. I'm exhausted. Thanks for watching.